and welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are so excited to be introducing our brand new stamp set, Elephant Parade, and its coordinating dies. We're also going to be introducing the Elephant Parade add-on stamp set and coordinating dies. These sets are so cute together. They're so great on their own. They're perfect for baby, birthday, thank you, congratulations, anything you can think of, and we're going to be showing you a ton of ideas in this video. But first, let's check out the Elephant Parade stamp set. This set is filled with the cutest elephants. We have a little one and a bigger one, and then we have these little hugging elephants that, oh my goodness, oh, they just warm my heart. They are so sweet. We have two cute, tiny little mice that are super cute for adding into your elephant parade scenes. And then we have all of these accessories that go along with these adorable elephants. So we have that fun little flag banner. We have the little cupcake with the peanut in it. We have a baby bottle for when you're making baby cards. And of course, a tiny little peanut. We have a crown that's super cute when you make these into birthday cards, and a flower crown too. There's also this cute little bow or bow tie. Next, we have some bubbles and also some hearts that can be coming out of the elephant's trunks, and it looks so super cute. We also have an individual heart that you can kind of add more bubbles, right? Little heart-shaped bubbles, and also a little popped bubble too that's super cute for setting the scene. And then we have all of these phrases that can fit inside that flag. So we have Happy Bee Day, we have Hello Baby, we have It's a Girl, and also It's a Boy. We also have congrats that can go for so many different occasions, and an I heart you that's one of my favorites. We also have the word yay, which is just perfect in that flag. This set also has some really sweet sentiments. So we have welcome little peanut, hello baby, and then we have congrats on your little one. We also have two tiny little words to help fill your scenes. We have a hello and then a pop to go along with those bubbles. Next, I'm going to be using my Copic markers to add some color to these adorable images, and I love doing the elephants in lots of different shades of gray. My personal favorite are the warm grays, but they look really great in any of the shades. A lot of the design team did cool grays for the elephants, and the blue tone just looks so pretty. So here you can see I've added my darkest marker. I'm going in with a medium marker and then in with the light. And for this little tiny baby elephant, I'm using more of the lighter markers there for the warm grays, and then for the larger elephant, I'm going to go into the darker marker. So I'll bring in that W4 just to give them just a little bit of a look, but they're still going to kind of coordinate with each other because they're going to have that same shade of warm gray. So you see I've added kind of my little shadow in different areas. I like to add shadow where there's curves, so along the trunk or around his legs or under his ear. And then we're going to blend it on out with our markers going into the lightest markers. For the ears, I like to use a very, very light pink. Also looks nice too if you go over the light pink with a very light gray marker. That'll kind of help blend the pink into the ears, but I personally like the bright pink, so I always just leave it like a bright pink. So I'm going back and forth and just blending my colors out. This elephant is a larger image, so I like to kind of work back and forth. And then now we're going to add some color to these adorable little mice. So I'm going to use some E50 markers, and these are pretty tiny images, so I'll just add a little bit of shadow and then blend it out medium to light. And then of course I'm going to give everybody some rosy cheeks because that makes the images just so very cute. For this flag, I'm just going to use some blue markers there and just kind of blend it out, and that way I can stamp any of the phrases that I'll need for whatever type of card I'm going to be making. And then here we've got the cute little elephants in their ears. I'm using those really, really light pink markers, and now I'm going to use a different shade of marker. So instead of a warm gray, this is a neutral gray, and so you'll see the different looks. One thing I also love to do in this cute little hugging image is to mix up my grays, and we're going to be showing you that in a card in just a little bit. So you could do neutral grays on the bigger elephant, and then you could do warm grays on the smaller elephant. So I'll add a little rosy cheek to the bigger elephant and start working for the smaller elephant. And this little image, I love it for baby cards, and I absolutely love it for Mother's Day cards. I think it's just so, so sweet as a Mother's Day card. And we're going to be showing you a bunch of ideas in this video. And then throughout this whole week, we'll be showing you even more ideas using all of these little elephants, and we'll have a Mother's Day card coming up that's just so beautiful. So now we're going to add some color to all of the extra little images. We'll add some color to the little peanuts. And then I decided to go with some really bright colors here for all of these. So I have these really bright red, violet colors, and I just love the kind of like neon-y look. It's just so happy and cute, and it's a nice pop of color against the gray of the elephants. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little shade there to those bubbles, give our little yellow crown, and add some pink there to our flower crowns using those same pinks like we used in the bottle and the cupcake, and then some really light pinks for those heart-shaped bubbles. So now that we have these all colored in, we are going to take a look at the Elephant Parade add-on stamp set. This stamp set has this cute little sitting elephant that I just love, and then it has some balloons that you can have this elephant hold. So it has a heart-shaped balloon and a circular balloon, and of course 2 different styles of string. So you can mix and match the strings with the balloons and create a bunch of balloons. It's so much fun to play around with. There's also a cute little umbrella that's so adorable to have the elephant hold. And then we also have this little line here, and this is meant to be rain falling onto the umbrella. And then we also have an individual little raindrop. And then my favorite image of this whole set is this super cute pinwheel. I just love to color it in. We also have a cute little solid heart and a smiley face, and you can add those smiley faces into the balloons, and it looks so very, very cute. There are these small phrases which you can use on their own, but they also fit perfectly in the balloon. And I love doing that because it kind of feels like those balloons that you can buy at the store. They have like the cute phrases that'll say happy birthday. You can create your own by stamping the different phrases inside of the balloons. And we have happy B-day, happy shower, it's a girl, it's a boy. We also have a little phrase that says spin that you can stamp by the pinwheel, and then a let's celebrate and a yay as some really lovely sentiments, along with have a happy shower too. So now I'm going to take out my Copic markers and add some color to these images too. And what I love about these stamp sets is they work great on their own. Each one of the stamp sets is just perfect for super, super cute cards, but when you mix them together, you can have the most adorable little scenes. So you could have one of the other elephants hold the pinwheel or the umbrella. You can have this guy hanging out with the other elephants, or he could be holding on to the cupcake from the original set. So you can really mix and match these in such fun ways. We'll give this cute little guy a little rosy cheek, and then we're going to work on the rest of the images, bringing in those bright kind of neon-y pinks and yellows again. I just think they are just so fun and so very, very cute. So we're going to add that there onto the balloon, and then we're going to use these same elements on the other little accessories that are in the set. That way everything's going to coordinate together and we can mix and match them on a card. So now we're going to add that really from bright yellow that we used on the other card as well. And so we're going to add that into the balloon, and of course we'll add that onto the umbrella and to the pinwheel too. And I love coloring the pinwheel in to match my cards. Of course, it's really cute in rainbow, but you could also pick the color scheme maybe from your pattern paper and use those colors on your pinwheel and your balloons and umbrella. Now that we have our add-on set all colored in too, we're going to take out the coordinating dies. These are the dies for the Elephant Parade stamp set. You can bend them apart at the tabs, or you can use your wire snips to separate them. We're going to separate the dies, and then we're going to line them up with our stamped images, holding them in place with some low-tack tape. We'll run it through the die cut machine, and we'll have perfectly cut out images every time. And then here is a look at all of the images from the set. Oh my goodness, they are so cute, and they are so much fun to mix and match. So you can have the elephants hold that little banner. You can add the different crowns onto them. The little mice could be holding the cupcake. You can add the little bow on top of the other elephant. You can use those little images to create scenes like the little peanut and bottle by the mama and baby elephants. The bubbles can be coming out of his trunk. There are just so many cute and adorable things that you can do with these. It's like the possibilities are endless. I have such a blast creating with these. The coordinating dies cut those little bubbles into individual pieces so you can mix and match them, use them as bubbles coming out of the trunks, or you can just use them as cute little love hearts on top of the elephant, which is so super cute and sweet. Here are the coordinating dies for the Elephant Parade add-on stamp set, which you can break apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate. Here we have the coordinating dies. We'll line them up with our stamped images, hold them in place with some low-tack tape, run them through the die cut machine, and you'll have beautifully cut out images every time. And here is a look at all of the images from this set. And here are some ways that you can mix and match the elements from the add-on. You can have him hold the pinwheel. He can hold those cute little balloons. You can mix and match the different strings with the different styles of balloons. You could cut a bunch of circle or heart-shaped balloons, or you can layer the circle and heart-shaped balloons together in a little bunch, which I think looks so cute. He can hold the umbrella, and you can use that little dotted line or the raindrop to be rain coming down over the umbrella. And then here is what it looks like when you combine the add-on with the original stamp set. You can really mix and match those elements in the cutest ways. I love how the add-on elephant can use the bubbles, and then the elephants from the original set could use the balloons and the cute little pinwheels. I mean, you can just mix and match these elements in the cutest and sweetest ways, and I just love how many fun cards that you can create with this. And speaking of creating, it is time to start creating with these stamp sets. And we're going to start off by doing some hot foiling. And if you've never hot foiled before, make sure to check out our intro to hot foiling video. We'll link it in the description below. But right here we have our glimmer machine. I plugged it in and I waited for that green platform ready light to turn on. Now that it's green, I can add my plate to the machine. And this is the brand new cloud background hot foil plate that I am just in love with. So we're going to add that to the glimmer machine, and then we're going to press that timer button there, and you'll see that green light's going to flash. It takes about a minute or so. I just fast forwarded time a little bit there. Once that light is solid, we are ready to hot foil. Now I'm going to be using a unique hot foil here. This one is called Opal, and it's really cool because it's actually like this clear kind of material. And it's going to be really, really fun when we ink blend over it. So you're going to see that there. So we're going to roll out some of that. We're going to lay it on top of our foil here, and then I'm just going to use my scissors to trim that down. Then we can add our paper on top of that, and then the two plates that the machine comes with. Then we can pop this whole thing off and run it through our die cut machine. And once you run it through the die cut machine, you're going to have this beautiful foil onto your cardstock. Then it's going to be time to start ink blending. So here we have some Distress Oxide ink, and what's really cool about the foil is it's going to resist the color of the ink, and you're going to see those beautiful white kind of opalescent clouds appearing onto the cardstock. And doesn't that look so cool? And right now we are recreating a stunning card by Audrey, so thank you so much, Audrey. So here you'll see that I'm just going and building up this color. So it was kind of kept being too light, so I just added more and more and more until I could really see those clouds pop. Then to give this sky kind of a magical feel, we brought in some salvage patina, which is kind of like a turquoise to this lavender color. And by adding that in there, you can see that it just gives the sky like a little extra something. So just added a little bit of that turquoise in and then went back over it with the purple. And then I've just got a dry cloth here and I'm just buffing those clouds off so that any ink that might have stuck to the clouds will be taken off and we'll have those nice bright white clouds. So this is foiling, but done in a little bit of a different way. Instead of a silver or a blue or a gold, we've got this really pretty opal color. I just think it's such a pretty way to use these hot foil clouds. Now here I'm going to take my largest stitched rectangle, which will be a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm going to line up that stitched rectangle right onto the clouds. We can hold it in place with some low tack tape and run that through the die cut machine, and now we'll have this beautiful panel with that nice stitching on it and that beautiful inking that we just did. Then we're going to take out some more clouds. So these are some simple puffy clouds, and we're just going to die cut those out of some white cardstock. And then to make them feel sparkly and shimmery, we're going to take out some of this sparkle glaze, and I'm just going to add little lines kind of around the edges of the cards. And once I add in the lines of the sparkle glaze, I'm going to take my finger and just kind of pounce it along the glaze, smearing it onto the clouds to give them this really, really cool kind of sparkly, pretty look, but that's kind of more subtle. So you'll see I just added some more along the edges like that, and then I'm just going to tap it in with my finger, and it just gives this beautiful little sparkly cloud that I think is just so pretty, and it's going to go really, really nicely with the background that we created. So I'm doing this whole step now because I'm going to take these clouds and set them aside so that they can dry and be beautifully and sparkly and ready to be added to a card later. So as those dry, we'll work on some more elements. So we're going to die cut some white cardstock with the largest stitched rectangle frame. And then here we're going to have a piece of cardstock that's that standard size, 5.5 by 4.25, and we're going to be die cutting that with one of these puffy cloud border dies, which is one of my favorite dies of all time. I love it so much. So we're going to layer that onto the cloud, and then we're going to run that through the die cut machine, and we'll have these beautiful stitched puffy clouds, and we're going to be adding some glitter to these as well. I've just gone ahead and traced that edge of the cloud with the sparkle glaze, and you can see just how pretty and sparkly. It's subtle, but just so gorgeous. So now we can start layering our different elements. So we have this awesome stitched rectangle frame that really just gives that whole scene a nice frame. And then we have our clouds that we've added glitter to. They're nice and dry now, so we can start to create our scene. So what we're going to start doing is layering in those puffy clouds that we added glitter to into the scene. So I'm going to add some tape runner and we're just going to kind of layer them behind this frame. So I haven't stuck down the frame or the other kind of cloud border yet because I'm trying to see exactly where these clouds are going to look nice. And then once we have these all in perfect placement, then we can take our scissors and we can trim off any of the excess. Then I'll add the rest to our scene. So we're going to add this really pretty puffy cloud border there at the bottom. And you'll see that I had trimmed it a little too short, so I just snuck it up a little bit. And the good thing is this stitched rectangle frame is just going to cover that up and no one will ever know that I cut that to the wrong size. So I'm going to layer that frame right on there and you can see that it just brings the whole thing in. I just love this mix of purple and white. I think it looks so pretty. Then next I wanted to work on the sentiment part of this cute card. So I knew I wanted to use that little flag banner because the flag banner is so sweet. So I'm going to stamp the banner out and then I'm going to stamp in the phrase hello baby. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the phrase welcome little peanut, which I think is just the sweetest thing. And I'm going to be using the coordinating die to cut out the flag and then also one of our sentiment banner dies to cut out that sweet sentiment. And then to make the flag stand out, I'm just going to take a very light RV marker and just line the edge of that flag. And it just gives it a little bit of a special look that's going to look really nice with that purple background. And then here you'll see that I have that mama and baby elephant and we used some blue violet kind of purpley gray markers for the small elephant and then some warm grays for the larger elephant. And I think that combination looks so pretty and I love how the little baby elephant matches the purple sky. I also went ahead and brought in a balloon from the Elephant Parade add-on. So this cute little balloon, although I normally would have thought of it for birthdays, is really, really sweet for a baby card too. So I'm going to add some foam squares, and I'm using one of the foam squares to help connect the string to the balloon. And then we'll add some more foam squares to all of the other elements because I want a lot of nice pop because the rest of the background is flat. And so then we can peel off the liner on those foam squares and start adding the elements into the card. And oh my goodness, I mean this little elephant. Ah, it just makes me so happy. Every time I see him, I just smile. Then we can add that sweet little balloon and then of course our little hello baby flag that we stamped earlier. Then we'll add the little mice on each of the side of the elephants. I love that there's these little mice in this set because it really does just make this whole cute little scene. And then last but not least, we're going to add our sentiment on there, of course with some foam squares as well for a nice little pop. And then that little sentiment banner flag there almost becomes the ground for our elephants and mice, which I think is a really fun way to have them up in the clouds, but still give them kind of like a little place to sit on there. Now here are some little hearts kind of sequins that are really great for shakers, but they're also really fun to add onto cards. So I'm going to take some of these tiny little hearts. I also could have die cut some hearts too, but these little hearts are really fun. And my son Miles is always playing with them because he thinks they are just the most fun thing. So they were out on my desk. So I thought, you know what, we're going to add these to the card too. So I'm just adding some liquid glue to the back of them with the glue tube and then layering them into the clouds. And I love the pop of pink against the purple sky and how nicely it goes with the little kind of pinky purple balloon and flag too. Then here is a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25. We'll add some tape runner to that and then we can layer this whole thing on and this beautiful baby card is all done. It was so much fun to create. So sweet. It's so fun to create a cool background and then make a beautiful little scene for these sweet, sweet little elephants. Now that we've created a baby card with this set, I want to create a non-baby card. So we're going to be creating a thank you card. And that's one of the best things about these elephants is that they work for any type of occasion that you can think of. So here I have a stitched slimline rectangle and we're going to create a really pretty sky using salvaged patina and twisted citron. And this is one of my favorite new sky combos. It just looks so magical. So we're going to build up that salvaged patina onto our slimline rectangle. And then we're going to come up from the bottom with the twisted citron. And when these two mix together is what makes them look absolutely beautiful. And to create that really pretty sky look, I'm going back and forth between the two colors, making sure they're really nicely blended together. And then here I have a spray bottle with just some plain water in there, and I'm going to spray it and then pick up the water with my paper towel there, and that's going to give some kind of texture to the background that's also going to make it feel really magical too. And then the last step is to create some white splatters on here. I feel like that's what makes a magical sky is these white splatters. So here I have some Copic white, but you could use white acrylic paint. This just happens to be what I have. Mine is really dried out, so I just spray some water in there. I'm able to pick up some of it, put it on my mat, add a little bit more water, and that's going to create these beautiful little splatters. So I'm picking it up with my paintbrush, and then I'm tapping the paintbrush with my finger, and I'm adding these little splatters to the background. And there's something about the mix of the water splatters that we did earlier with these white splatters on top that to me just looks so pretty, and it's going to be a really great background for these elephants. So now I'm going to need a ground for this card. So I've die cut the same stitched slimline rectangle, and I'm going to be using my Grassy border die. Now this border die is meant for a standard size card, not a slimline, but the good thing about this straight Grassy border here is that it's very, very easy to line up. So I'm just going to take this piece here, and you'll see how I'm just going to line up the two edges of the grass just like that. And then I'll hold it in place with some low tack tape, and we'll run it through the die cut machine, and you'll see that you'll have this perfect, nice long grass that's perfect for a slimline card. And you'll see how that's going to layer on top right there. And so I want this to also match the background, so I want it to be inked as well. But you're going to see that I just went crazy with the ink here. I could not find the right color. But that's one of the things that I love about just inking in general is if you don't like the color that you create, you can just add more on top of it and just keep making something, especially with the Distress Oxide. So it was just like not my favorite. So then I went and I brought in mowed lawn, and I didn't like that. So then I brought in some different colors. I think I brought in Lucky Clover. I just kept layering greens until it was the right green. And then I realized, you know what, maybe if I used Twisted Citron, it would match my sky better. And it did. So this is a layer of just about a million different inks, and it ended up working out. So I'm spraying some of that same water from the water bottle onto the grass so that it matches the sky, but I'm not going to add any of the white splatters. I decided to just save the white splatters for the sky, and then the grass at least has some texture, but that's it with the millions of layers of ink that I have on that grass. Oh my goodness. So now I'm going to layer some tape runner on the back of that and then add that to the scene, and you'll see just how pretty this looks. And then now the best part, we're going to bring in our elephants. And we named this stamp set Elephant Parade for a reason, because creating an elephant parade is my favorite thing to do with this. So we're going to add some foam squares to the back of all of these little elephants. And I love the idea of the big elephant kind of leading the pack and having all of the little elephants trail after him. It's just so cute and so fun. And this little scene could work for a lot of different occasions too. So you'll see that I'm just kind of layering the elephants on there. And then later on, I'll just kind of play around with the way that they're angled depending on what they're going to hold. And you'll see here, I'm just kind of playing around going, how's that going to look? How's that going to look? And you'll see just how cute and sweet those little elephants in their parade look. Now I want to give these elephants lots of fun accessories. So I brought in both the Elephant Parade, and we're going to have the Elephant Parade add-on stamp set too for a lot of cute fun things that we can add into this scene. So here you'll see I have a bunch of stamped images. I don't even think I end up using all of them, but I have a ton of them, and I have one of that cute little flag there, and I'm going to stamp the I Heart You into the flag. And I love that you can customize this flag with all of those different little phrases. And I'm going to color the heart pink too, and I think that's just a fun pop of color onto the flag. And then I'm going to be adding a lot of foam squares on the back of these images and layering things in there. So here you can see the big elephant's going to hold that little flag, and it just looks so cute. We'll give him a crown, and then the next elephant is going to have those little heart bubbles. And as I showed you earlier on in the video, the coordinating die kind of cuts it into a trio of hearts, which I love because you can use them separate or together. And then right here, I realized I wanted to add a sentiment, and I figured I better figure out what that sentiment is before I keep adding more elements onto my card. And I decided I wanted to do some hot foiling again. I had my hot foil machine out from making my baby cards. I thought, why not? And this is one of the brand new big Scripty words. We had winter big Scripty words for Christmas time, and now we have our general phrases, which is big Scripty words. So we're going to add that hot foil plate right there onto the machine. We've pressed the timer button. That light's going to flash. Now that it's solid, we can start to do our hot foiling. And I'm going to be using this really pretty turquoisey color because I thought it would look really nice with the sky. So we're going to trim one of those pieces there. Then we'll lay that pretty side down onto the foil. We can add our piece of cardstock, the two plates that the machine comes with. Then we can pop this whole thing off, and off camera I'm going to run it through my die cut machine, and that's going to help press that foil into the paper. And when you see this all done, oh my goodness, it's just so pretty. I just love that beautiful shimmer so much. Now, one of the cool things with Big Scripty words that's just like the winter Big Scripty words that we came out with is the original coordinating die for the stamp set that came out years ago works with not only the stamp set, but it also works with the hot foil too. So I went ahead and lined up that coordinating die. We're going to hold it in place with some little tack tape, run it through the die cut machine, and now we're going to have this beautiful die cut thanks that has that awesome foiling detail onto it. Isn't that so pretty? It just adds the perfect little sparkle onto any card. So now that I have my sentiment, I'm going to lay it there. I'm not going to glue it down quite yet, but that's going to give me an idea of what my spacing is to add elements because I was inspired by a card by Elena where she had this little elephant holding a whole stack of peanuts, and I thought it was just the cutest thing. It just made me smile. So I wanted to do that too. So I added that onto my card. And then here's that sweet little pinwheel that comes from the add-on stamp set. We're going to add that onto the last elephant, and I think it's a nice bright pop of color. Now, this is a brand new stamp set called Extraordinary Easter, and it has these fun little grass pieces. And we have these grass pieces in a lot of different stamp sets, and they're a really nice little addition to our cute stamp scene. So I'm just going to layer some of those little grass elements onto the card. I also added one of those sweet little mice, and he's going to hold on to one of the peanuts, almost as if that elephant had kind of dropped one of the peanuts earlier. I wanted to have some height to my sentiment, and my favorite way to do that is to take that same die cut and just die cut some plain white cardstock. And I'm going to start layering these on top of each other until I have the perfect height. So I'm adding some liquid glue and then just layering it on top. Once I have a nice height, we're going to add some liquid glue to the back of the piece that was foiled and layer that on top. And now it has this amazing height. It kind of reminds me almost like of like a chipboard sticker. It just feels so special. And so we're going to add some tape runner to the back and then layer that onto the card. And that beautiful pop and height I just think looks so amazing. Now that we have our cute scene, we need something fun for the background, and I thought this stitched scallop slimline die was so pretty, so we're going to die cut that out of white cardstock and then layer this other stitched rectangle inside. And the little scallop is so sweet, and I love that double stitching line. It just makes it feel so special. Then we're going to take a slimline card base and we're going to add some tape runner to that and then layer it on to the back of the card. And this is so cute. I love that it's going to be able to fit in a business size envelope with standard postage, but it just feels so special. I just love slimline cards, and these elephants are perfect for slimline cards. As I took a look at the finished card, I thought it needed just one more little thing. So I had one more little bunch of grass, and I'm just going to layer that behind that one little elephant there, and that's like the last perfect thing. And this card is all done. It's so fun with the fun background and the foiled sentiment and the elephant parade with all of those cute little accessories. I'm telling you, this just makes me smile. I'm literally just smiling right now. It's just so cute and so much fun. And I wanted to show you this in a comparison to a card by Tammy that's just so gorgeous that was also a scallop slimline card, but with a baby theme. So I love that you can take this elephant parade idea and turn it into so many cute and different cards. And next up, Shari is going to wow you guys with a beautiful birthday card. So take it away, Shari.
So for the card I'm making today, I'm using the Elephant Parade add-on, and I'm also going to pull in some elements from the Elphie selfie stamp set, like that little elephant and the birthday cake, because I'm creating a birthday card today. For my background, I'm starting out with some spiffy speckles paper in some aqua color and some green. I've cut both of these with the outside in stitched rectangle. And then for the green, I'm just going to cut two hillsides out of this. The first hillside will be a simple stitch hillside. This will be the one in the foreground. And then for the one behind that, I'm picking out one of the other stitched hillside borders. And you can see I've lined the simple one up at the bottom of the other side of my rectangle. And then I'll cut this hillside out of the other side of that rectangle. These two will layer behind each other, but before I do that, I want to ink up the edges so that they stand out a little bit from each other. So I'm just using a freshly cut grass ink and a blending brush and adding a little bit of darker green ink to the top of each of the hillsides. Once I do this, you can see that they will stand out a bit more from each other once they're stacked on top of each other. Now I can start to assemble my card by putting that piece of blue spiffy speckles paper onto a cream colored card base. And since I cut this with that outside in, I'm going to get that nice cream colored border around all four sides. Next, I'm taking the hill that will go in the background, and I'm just going to line that up and adhere that directly to the background piece. So this is flat against the background. And then for that small hill in the front, I'm going to use some foam tape and pop that up off the background a little bit for some dimension. So now that my hillsides are in place, I can start to add my images. So I'm starting out with that larger elephant, which is from the Elephant Parade add-on. I like this one because his trunk is up in the air and he can hold the balloons that come in this set. I'm adding this little elephant. This is from the Elphie's Selfie stamp set, as well as that birthday cake. And I'm stacking 2 squares of foam behind his head because the bottom is going to be on that hillside and the head needs to be supported because the hill is also popped up. Now for the cake, I'm just going to add foam to the cake and that is going to stick directly to the hillside. And we've set the scene for a fun birthday party. Now, this add-on set has the little balloon as well as the little string. So I've just cut 2 of the little strings. And I have a foam square behind each balloon. So I'm just figuring out the placement of each balloon and the string that connects it to where my little elephant is holding the strings. And I like that these overlap a little bit, and I like the way this is looking. Now I wanted to fill the field behind them with pinwheels. So I colored all these pinwheels in rainbow colors. I rotated my colors around a little bit so that they weren't all exact copies of each other and they looked like they were spinning. So like the blue is in a different space on each one, and the green and the red and so on. So once I have these placed kind of where I want them so I look like I have fields of pinwheels, I'm just going to adhere those down. So the ones that are on the hillside in the back, I just glue those directly to the background piece. And then the ones that look like they're stuck into the hillside in the front, I am popping those up on some foam. And you can see I did tuck that one behind my elephant and my cake. I didn't want that to look like an empty void right there just because I had the cake. So I tucked that one behind the elephant so it looks like it's in the background. And since that elephant is popped up, that's really easy to do just right behind his head. Now for the sentiment, I'm using the sentiment in this add-on set that says, "Let's celebrate." And I'm just lining that up into my Misty tool, and I will stamp that directly onto the background with some black ink. And then there's this little cute stamp in this set that says spin, and I thought that would be fun to stamp around the little pinwheels. I'm using some River Rock ink, so it's a gray ink and it's not quite as stark as the black ink of the sentiment. And I'm just stamping a few of these around. Now you are going to see that I actually end up covering up this last one that I stamp with a cloud, so I'll add another one back in once I do that. So you can see how I'm figuring out where my clouds go, and this one's going to cover up that little spin there. So I probably should have placed my clouds first, but that's okay because I can easily just add another little spin in right above this pinwheel right by my elephant. And then of course I want to add some glitter to this to catch your eye. So I added just a tiny dot to the center of each pinwheel, a little bit to the candles of the cake, and I added some to the tops of the balloons and the tops of the clouds as well. So just a little bit of sparkle to add a little bit of interest. And here is my finished card with that cute little elephant. I think this is such a cute birthday card with that field full of pinwheels.
This card is too cute, Shari. I just love all those pinwheels so much. It just makes me so happy. And next up, we have some incredible cards by the design team. And this slimline card by Elena is so sweet. I just love those little elephants together. This card by Grace is so fun, and I love how she created an amusement park look using some brand new stamp sets in the background, too. This card by Callie is so sweet. She used our new balloon stencil, and it makes such a fun birthday background. And these baby cards by Elise, oh my goodness, so sweet and so cute. And I love how she created both an It's a Girl and an It's a Boy version. I just love the combination of all of the elephants together too. This slimline card by Maureen just blew me away. She added in our brand new Fly High stamp set to those cute elephants, and it's just so sweet. Here, Mindy used our new corner rainbow stencil to create a really fun birthday background for these elephants. And then Letitia did some stenciling as well with the balloon stencil, and I love the little elephants with their banners and cupcakes. This baby card by Maureen is so sweet, and she combined it with our brand new So Very Mice stamp set. And then this slimline by Megan is so pretty. I love her inking and how she added those tropical leaves up at the top. This is the card by Audrey that inspired me to make mine today. It is just so sweet and beautiful. And then here, Kara created a really cute card using some of our brand new raffle tickets as a ground for these really sweet elephants. And then this fun card by Yanea is so sweet. I love that it is a hello, hola card. It's so sweet and fun. And this card by Mendy is perfect for a baby shower. I love how she stamped her sentiments into the balloons. And then this fun little rainbow background is perfect for a birthday card and these elephants. And then coming up, we have another sweet little baby card. I love the congrats with the hello baby and those sweet little hugging elephants by Shari. And then this card by Jen is so pretty with those fun rainbows in the background. So we cannot wait to see what you guys create with Elephant Parade and the add-on, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!